Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are reading with A Course in Miracles, Workbook for Students, Part 2 of the workbook. This is Lesson 357 in Section 14, What Am I? Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning unto us to be itself. Forgiveness, truth's reflection, tells me how to offer miracles and thus escape the prison house in which I think I live. Your Holy Son is pointed out to me, first in my brother, then in me. Footnote 189. Through forgiveness of my brother, I first discover that he is God's Holy Son, and that leads me to realize that I too am his son. Your voice instructs me patiently to hear your word and give as I receive. And as I look upon your Son today, I hear your voice instructing me to find the way to you, as you appointed that the way shall be. Behold his sinlessness, and be you saved. Look on the Christ in him, and be you healed. Commentary by Alan Watson. An idea is conveyed here, one that is a running theme through the Course, that we find our way to God through others. We see Christ first in our brothers and then in ourselves. When we call to God, truth always responds. The first response is miracles which we offer to others through our forgiveness. Then truth returns to us to be itself. Your Holy Son is pointed out to me, first in my brother, then in me. This is the way of A Course in Miracles, as I look upon your Son today, that is, as I see the Christ in those around me. I hear your voice instructing me to find the way to you, as you appointed the way shall be. We hear the voice that directs us to God as we look on the Christ in others. Another way of stating this theme is that we see the face of Christ and then remember God. The two stages of the answer are 1. Miracles, and 2. The apprehension of truth as itself. Miracles in the form of forgiveness offered to my brothers are only a symbol of the truth. Forgiveness is only truth's reflection. In the miracle I see the Son of God, first in my brother, and then in myself. As miracles accumulate and our mind is trained, truth itself begins to dawn. Many spiritual paths, I think, make a mistake in focusing on God realization directly. The effort may eventually work because the purpose is right, but it takes a long time, an enormous effort. See Chapter 18, Section 8. The effort to do what is not doable, to make happen what has already happened, to find what we have never lost, can become a struggle of endless frustration, a perfect vehicle for the continuation of the ego. This kind of spiritual seeking results in the type of person who is too heavenly minded to be of any earthly use. Here we find the Pharisee who passes by the injured traveler because he does not want to be tainted. The religious bigot, the self-righteous fundamentalist. His prayers are so important that he ignores his family and its needs. The Course is saying that the path to heaven is through forgiveness here. Don't get lost in the search for an abstract experience of union with God. Rather, practice forgiveness. Pay attention to the practical. Concentrate on union with your brother, and union with God will be given you. Work with the material given you and the relationships that are at hand. Don't try to run away in some spiritual retreat. It will fail. You will be attempting to grasp at something you are not capable of grasping now. You can't skip over this process. The way to God is through your brother. He is your Savior. There is no other way. The path of the Course is anything but narcissistic or solitary. It teaches us clearly that we cannot find God alone or in ourselves alone. And we cannot find God anywhere unless we find Him everywhere. He is approached through the appreciation of His Son. By learning to see those around us as the Son of God, as God's perfect creation, we learn that we are part of that creation as well. This leads us to the memory of God Himself. The way to God lies through the person next to us. Behold His sinlessness, and be you healed. Let me go ahead and lead us into meditation. Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning unto us to be itself. Forgiveness, truth's reflection, tells me how to offer miracles and thus escape the prison house in which I think I live. Your Holy Son is pointed out to me, first in my brother, then in me. Your voice instructs me patiently to hear your word and give as I receive. And as I look upon your Son today, I hear your voice instructing me to find the way to you. As you appointed that the way shall be. Behold His sinlessness, and be you saved. Look on the Christ in Him, and be you healed. Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning unto us to be itself. Thank you so much for Please join me in What Am I? Commentary by Alan Watson. The passage is reminiscent of the paragraph in the introduction to Review 5. Let this review be your gift to me, for this alone I need, that you will hear the words I speak and give them to the world. You are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands through which I save the world. The self from which I call to you is but your own. To him we go together. Take your brother's hand, for this is not a way we walk alone. In him I walk with you, and you with me. Our Father wills his Son be one with him. What lives but must not then be one with you. Christ sees through our eyes. Our ears are those that hear the voice for God. Our minds are the minds that join together. As bringers of salvation, we have one single function, to hear the words Jesus speaks and give them to the world. And what is the kernel of those words? Seeing the world with no thought of sin, hearing the message that the world is sinless, joining in union to bless the world. Am I a blessing to those around me or a burden? Do I lift guilt from them or do I lay it on them? I have not really grasped the message of the Course. Until I realize that I am here to be a channel of God's grace to the world and to release everyone I come in contact with from their guilt, most especially from the guilt that I have laid upon them. Thank you so much for joining with me in Lesson 357. Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning unto us to be itself. I love you. Thank you for joining.